I love the song, What One Man Can Do. It was written for Buckminster Fuller on his 85th birthday by John Denver. Bucky, as he was known, was an American architect, author, designer, inventor, but he didn't start out that way. Imagine this. In 1927, at the age of 32, Buckminster Fuller stood on the shores of Lake Michigan, prepared to throw himself into the freezing waters. His first child had died. He was bankrupt, discredited, jobless, and he had a wife and a newborn daughter. He began to think that this life insurance policy was worth more than his life. On the verge of suicide, it suddenly struck him that his life belonged not to himself, but to the universe. He chose at that moment to embark on what he called an experiment to discover what a little, penniless, unknown individual might be able to do effectively on behalf of all humanity. So over the next 54 years, he proved time and time again that his most controversial ideas were practical and workable. During the course of his remarkable experiment, he was awarded 25 patents, authored 28 books, received 47 honorary doctorates in the arts, science, engineering, and the humanities, and received dozens of major architect and design awards. Buckminster Fuller is probably best known for the promotion of the geodesic dome, the lightest, strongest, most cost-effective structure ever devised. He once said, "The mission of life is to align our heartbeat with the rhythm of the universe." I, for one, am glad that he realized that his life belonged not to himself, but to the universe. Now, can one person make a difference? It's not rare for a single individual to have a significant impact through extraordinary opportunities, actions, situations. Niels Bohlin was a Swedish mechanical engineer who invented the three-point seatbelt. Now, his invention saved hundreds of thousands, probably millions of lives since he first unveiled it in 1959 to colleagues working at Volvo. Now, closer to home for me is Reverend Dr. Terry Cole Whitaker, who made her transition October 24th this year. It was both my introduction to science of mind and my introduction to a new way of life. The basic principle of cause and effect suggests that even by listening today, you've put something in motion that could affect your environment, your future. If you then share something you heard or change your behavior, and then someone else may also change their behavior, and so on. So there's no doubt that a single individual can make a difference. The question really becomes, how can individuals have a larger than average impact on the world? Can we imagine being like Bucky, that our life, this life, belongs to the universe? See, this year, our theme is a grand rising. And this month, we're talking about power. Reverend Don Beatty, a staff minister at Seattle CSL, has given us a lot of ideas to think about this month. First, we do our internal work to create a relationship with our inner power. And then as we forgive and heal our inner relationship with power, we take the next step in this grand rising by how we express our personal power. We release our hidden agendas. We begin to express our power with integrity and authenticity. And power expressed in this manner supports and draws those around us together in support of shared causes and ideas. Coming together in authentic power multiplies what we can do. The difference for good that we can make as a group, a community, is more expanded, and we express this power. In the Sermon by the Sea, Ernest Holmes calls us to be for something and against nothing. Standing in our authentic power allows us to stand for truth, allowing ourselves to be so strongly for principle that we are clear, kind, unmoved, regardless of what the world around us looks like. In the global vision developed by the Centers for Spiritual Living, it states, we envision a world that works for everyone and all of creation. This vision is brought forth through the acts of individuals, groups, communities, society. We're all called individually and collectively to collaborate with organizations and programs that are in alignment with this vision, working in the world to make it work for everyone and all of creation. Ernest Holmes, in the Science Mind book, tells us a steadfast determination to attain some purpose, letting go of all that opposes it, a complete reliance on the law of good, and an unqualified trust in spirit. This is real power. And no single person can bring the global vision to life, yet every person can make a difference. As we explore our authentic power and stand for truth, we recognize that the transformation we seek requires collective effort. Just like the beauty of prayer coming together with that shared intention magnifies the power. In our spiritual journey, we're reminded of the potency of spiritual mind treatment, where we all come together as religious science practitioners, whether licensed or not, to support and empower heartfelt intentions. It is in these moments of collective connection that the true essence of oneness is realized. Individuals blending their energies to create a collective wave of transformation. Here's a current example. Allie Young started the Ride to the Polls campaign in 2020 to register new voters in person and online. Now, this is not a get a ride to the polls. No. This is ride your horse to the polls. And this is what I read. In Dene, or Navajo culture, the horse symbolizes strength and resilience, as well as a connection to the earth. Cowboy culture is so relevant to Native communities that horseback trail rides are used to draw awareness to issues within the community, including suicide prevention and alcohol and drug use. This fall, Allie Young has harnessed the trail ride to engage Dene voters for the presidential election. Her group's voter registration events will culminate with 100 Indigenous voters riding on horseback to a polling station in Arizona on Election Day. This is what she said. When one mounts a horse and is in rhythm with the horse, that reconnection happens. So when we're connected with the horse, and then we're reconnected to Mother Earth and reminded of our cultural values and what we're fighting for, what we're protecting. So similarly, as we engage in the world, each person's actions, choices, and participation contribute to the grand tapestry of change. Whether it's empowering voting, supporting organizations aligned with a vision of a better world, or sharing resources, our individual efforts collectively create a wave of positive impact. In the pursuit of a world that works for all, we acknowledge the significance of this interconnectedness. Every action, however small it may seem, carries the potential to ripple out and make a difference. We've all seen ripples in a pond. They go out seemingly forever. Through unity and collaboration, we unleash the boundless potential of the collective power. And this means we're catalysts for positive change, both individually and as that harmonious whole. Now, one way we create a world that works for all is through voting. As they say during election season in Transylvania, every count votes. Empowered voting and participation in the process based on that deep consideration of the choices is a practice that we support. And while we do not tell people who to vote for or what to believe, just like we don't tell people what to think, but how to think, we support everyone in exercising this right to make our country and the world a better place. Now, not everyone has the right to vote. And while we continue to support equality and justice for all, it's also our calling to use the privilege that we do have to support progress. This year, our sister center, CSL Dallas, created their first ever voter's guide. Now, let me be clear, neither CSL Dallas nor Austin CSL endorse, oppose, or financially contribute to any political campaign or candidate. The guide is nonpartisan. It's created to ensure that we place our votes with intention, mindfulness, and clarity. This is what they write. The holistic evaluation framework helps us identify candidates who align with a vision of sustainability, inclusivity, equity, and peace, ensuring that they're committed to leaving a lasting positive impact for people and the planet. And so in doing this, CSL Dallas organized the CSL Global Vision and Science of Mind principles into 5 value categories. So let me go over those. First, environment and the planet. And this is about stewardship and interconnectedness. And what they say is a candidate's approach to environmental sustainability and the protection of the planet is vital. They should demonstrate support for long-term environmental solutions, prioritize climate change, and advocate for the preservation of natural resources, such as national and state parks. This includes backing initiatives like clean energy, sustainable agriculture, and expanded support for the arts, education, and cultural heritage. Value 2, democracy and rights. This is the value of each person and just and equitable treatment. So candidates must exhibit a deep understanding of governance, align their votes with their values, and foster bipartisan collaboration. They should uphold democratic values such as justice, voting rights, equity, and be committed to reducing mass incarceration. Their leadership must reflect a commitment to human rights and an equitable legal system. Value 3, personal integrity and governance. This is about right action and truth. So this involves determining whether a candidate stays true to their platform and votes in alignment with their values. They must constructively and collaboratively use power, demonstrating a clear understanding of governance and a dedication to build trust. Their leadership style reflects transparency, ethical decision-making, and responsibility toward the larger impact of their actions. Value 4, dignity and respect for difference. And this is about a unity with all and the value of each person. Candidates must respect and honor the diversity of cultures and races, religions, ethnicities, sexual orientation, and genders. Inclusivity is a critical value, and their policies must reflect an understanding of the intersectionality of social issues. They should be able to work with people from different backgrounds and foster an environment where all individuals can thrive and be heard. A strong candidate actively promotes inclusivity and equity in both resources and the economy. Their policies are designed to create a sustainable long-term solution that ensure all individuals have the freedom to choose, be themselves, and love freely. Equity in education, healthcare, and economic opportunity are central to the platform. Value number 5, optimism, hopefulness, and peace. This is about the power of thought and unity with all. An ideal candidate leads with hope and optimism. They should champion unity, promote peaceful conflict resolution, and strive for long-term betterment of society. Their actions should reflect a commitment to social justice, equity, and fostering peace in their community and beyond. And we consider the candidate's commitment to serving humanity and creating a better world for all. Now, that's just a brief overview of what the CSL Dallas Voters Guide talked about. But I think it's important to recognize that we need to look at our own values. We need to look at that global vision and say, if I do agree with this, then am I standing in my truth? See, creating a world that works for everyone requires a conscious and intentional approach that extends beyond this passive observation. It starts with embodying what we stand for and then aligning our choices with our values and being living examples of the positive change we wish to see. And this means taking a stand for a world that honors equality, compassion, harmony. You know what a horse's primary concern is when voting? A stable economy. I think that came from the Gallup poll. So we have the power to influence change by engaging with our elected officials and advocating for policies that promote inclusivity, justice, progress. As individuals, as a community, our collective voices hold tremendous potential for making a difference. To create a world that works for everyone, we actively seek opportunities to be a presence for good. Oh, this is living our values. We extend our principles beyond the confines of our local communities, impacting the broader world with our message of love and transformation. And by living our ideals and actively participating in the betterment of society, we sow the seeds of positive change and pave the way for a world that embraces the potential of all individuals, fostering a reality of unity, harmony, and thriving for everyone. So, in this holistic perspective, our individual growth and empowerment blends seamlessly with our commitment to collective progress. As we acknowledge and exercise our power both within ourselves and as a united force, we become catalysts for positive transformation. It calls us to step up, to stand together, and actively create a world where the true potential and power in each person is celebrated and nurtured. I want to thank Reverend Don for his thoughts on this. And here's a last quote from Socrates. The secret of change is to focus all of your energy not on fighting the old, but on building the new. Let's build something new. Let's build a world that works for all.